Good afternoon. It's June the 22nd, 2016. Time to recap today's trading. We had a pretty good day working the market's edges as far as our calls for support and resistance were. The E-mini again proves to be a very, very difficult trade because of the lack of volatility. And we started out this morning with the idea that we were going to have a trading range with Brexit holding the market in check, and we had resistance at 85 to 90, and we had support 70 to 75, and we have a low of 76.50, and we have a high of 91 and a quarter. So not perfect, but pretty darn close. The assessment that the market would be a trading range was exactly what it was. For those of you that want to stay out of trouble, trade our prescribed trades, a mean green trade, with the blue line, a buy with a 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 blue line. You're missing the sells. We cross the blue line, a sell with the blue line, a sell with the blue line, a sell with the blue line. The sell right down here was a loser. Cross the blue line, a buy. And this buy took us to the mean green line. So it was a reasonable trading day after all, but we go through this first hour and a half with usually not a lot of range to work with. We had like 5 points until we broke it out right here. So Brexit is tomorrow, and we'll know what we should have done after that news announcement has been made, and on to the next piece of news. The merry-go-round never stops spinning. Higher low, higher high on F1, we could buy it. On F2, definitely a B, no matter which way you cut it. So F2 would have us looking for a place to sell it. Because F1 and F2 are in conflict, trading range. So if the market were to close at 80, we are trying to sell the 82.50, 85 area, sell 1. 89.91, sell 2. Support is still 75 to 77, so 75, 77, buy 1, buy 2, 70 to 72. And I don't know how, if they have exit polls or how they work it in England, but we should have a pretty good idea of if they're going to stay in the European Union or not, and the odds say that they will stay with the European Union, all subject to news items to get people to read various publications where they'll hit the wires with a particular opinion and to increase their readership, whether it's true or not. Looking at the treasuries, we feel, bad 5-year, good 7-year, bad 10-year, good 30-year auction. That's the way that it works. We came in today really favoring the long side of the market. We have an inside day. Sorry for that pause. The air conditioning man can find his way to get out here this afternoon. My feeling is I probably have bought a new condenser. Turned it off, checked all the fuses, circuit breakers, etc. Turned it back on and didn't get anything out of it. So if I'm lucky, it's a condenser fan, but my guess is I'm probably buying a new condensing unit. So I'm going to help the local economy. Anyway, back to the note. So an inside day can go either way. The Brexit vote will loom. If Brexit does pass, it should help treasuries. Our guess today is that we would have a market that would trade up sometime into the 7-year auction. There's your 7-year auction. It traded up. Didn't really break out above volume right here. And again, these high volume nodes, most recent in the market's memory, I've got a little bulge right here at 12.5 in the long-term structure. I've got a volume at 11.5, and I've got this volume budget 13.5, and so 12.5 is right in the middle. So 12 is pretty good resistance, and if we can't take out the 12 to 16 area, this market can sell for whatever the reasons. So 12 to 16, sell 1. 19 to 23, sell 2. If Brexit does pass, I imagine we'll trade higher. The Bacto 4 is support. Might take an 8 to get in long, so we'll put buy 1 at 4 to 8 and buy 2 at 29 to 01. If Brexit doesn't pass, we probably do not want any part of the long side of the market. Okay, looking at the 30-year. Had a great day in the 30-year. Called that market support and resistance levels pretty darn good. Had a 1 to 5 buy, and 23 to 27 was our number one sell zone. So once again, letting structure work for you can really help you out. 23 to 27 was our first sell zone, and the high is 28. 1 to 5 was our first buy zone. 4 is the low. That information was in your hands at 6:45 or so this morning. Pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. Okay, so our number one resistance area right here is going to be 28. 31 to 03, sell 1. Sell 2, we're going to make 11 to 15. The UK leaves, you definitely want to be long treasuries. Okay, right here, 12 to 16 is number one. 5 to 9 would put us in. It's pretty aggressive, but that's where we did have buyers today. Then 25 to 29 buy 2. And if it looks like England's going to stay in, and I do think they will, the EU, my guess is that we'll see sellers in Treasury. I don't know if y'all are pen freaks or writing freaks, but I'm trying out a new Papermate product called InkJoy, and I've always liked the Pilot Gel 2s, and this one actually has the Pilot beat by quite a bit as far as fluidity, or however you pronounce that word. Okay, looking at gold. Lower high, lower low. Look for a place to sell it off our F1. And if we go back and we do our split, put it all together, we've got a P in the congestion area, and we also have a P with the TPOs. So our first buy may be a little lower, gets stops beneath 64. If England leaves the EU, my guess is gold soars. If England stays with the EU, probably going to sell and test our 1255 area. So our first buy really is in this 65, 63 area. Give ourselves a little room. Then drop it to 55, 57 for buy number 2. On the sell side, 69 to 71, and then 74 to 76. Crude oil. Okay, that 1427 trade-in, I just want to show that briefly. We're not right every day when we come in on this call, but if the market has sold all day long, and this didn't work worth a damn last one day this week. The market's been down all day long, buying in on the close of this bar in anticipation of short covering on the close. And, you know, we sit back and look at it. Everybody knows that you don't want to get out on the close. I mean, who in the hell's doing it? It's large institutions. They will enter the market on the opening, at the market. They will exit market on close. It's the way that they do it. So if during the day whatever parameters or criteria they have are violated by the market, they exit on the close. And that's what gives us, that's the dynamic that drives that big range. So it won't be right every time. I think one of the fellows in the room has a buy stop, sell stop like 7 ticks outside that bar's high or low, and he says on paper that's been working pretty well. But buying this bar on the close to take advantage of that is a reasonable trade. So let's not forget that. As you get better, that could become a part of your trader's repertoire. Okay, we have an outside day. That usually implies a trading range. So we'll see if that happens in crude. I have no idea how Brexit would affect it. It shouldn't affect it by a lot, but could. If England leaves, I guess economic downturns around the world. Sell crude oil. Demand's going down. If England stays, maybe a rally. Okay, you can see right here just structurally that low at 48.74, that high at 48.60. We've got a high here at 48.67. We have a high right there at 48.69. So 65 to 75 is pretty good support. Then we have today's lows where they got stops below 50, and they ran 9 cents below 50 to get that. So there's really not a very good place to have a stop in crude oil like the E-mini. You just have to take your lumps and start the game all over again. With this close, with the last rotate up at 22, 49.25.50, sell 1, 49.75.50 even, sell 2. On the buy side, 48.50, 48 and a quarter. Then 47.50, 47.75 for buy 2. Boy, is the euro in for a ride tomorrow. For people that have access to the news and that are very, very nimble, tomorrow could be a huge day. And on a day like that where you have those kind of fills and all the slippage, I mean, you're trading decreased size. You're going to get volatility make up for the decreased size. You don't worry too much about stops. You're just long till you don't want to be long anymore, and short till you don't want to be short anymore. And that's the way the game is played. For us that are day trading, trying to make a business plan, for most of us, we would not trade that. But for those of you that have the skill, the talent, the experience to do it, there's a lot of opportunity tomorrow. It's being touted as a potential black swan event, the UK leaving the EU. Lower high, lower low. Find a place to sell it according to the F1 screen. And looking at the number 2, leaning P, we have rejected prices over 1360. Now 1360, 1370, we did get up to 76, was our number 2 sell zone today, so we got that pretty well. And we were hoping to buy 1275s, did not get close to it. Didn't get close to 113 for that matter. So we know we're rejecting prices above 1360. So if there were no news tomorrow, we'd be selling 50 to 60 for sell 1, and then 75 to 85 for sell 2. On the buy side, we'd be buying 20 to 30, and then the buck for buy 2. So that's it for our wrap up today. We'll see you bright and early in the morning. We'll see if the UK is still a part of the EU sometime tomorrow. Of course, it'll take several years to unwind that position, but if they vote to leave tomorrow, that will start. Or if it's close, what most people are guessing, if it's close, is they'll call for a second vote. And then the knives and the guns will come out. So y'all have a great evening. We're going to get a big news event tomorrow, maybe. Looks that way. Look forward to tomorrow's trading and the volatility. Hopefully it adds to our regular markets. I'm out of here.